Have you ever wondered how doctors figure out which bacteria cause an infection before choosing treatment? It starts with a controlled lab process called bacterial isolation. Isolation means separating the suspected pathogen from everything else so we can identify it accurately and test its vulnerabilities. This process is essential for diagnosis, choosing the right antibiotic, and understanding how infections spread in a community or hospital. Without pure cultures, we risk wrong identification, ineffective treatment, and poor infection control decisions. Isolation is the foundation of accurate microbiology. In this video, we will cover sampling, transport, inoculation, culturing, isolating colonies, identification, and how results guide care and public health. Throughout, we will explain not just how each step is done, but the key reasons behind every technique and precaution. Step 1 is obtaining a representative sample from the infection site, for example, a swab, blood, urine, or sputum, depending on symptoms. Accurate labeling and documentation are critical to link results to the right patient and maintain chain of custody for reliable decisions. Transport conditions matter. The correct medium and temperature keep organisms alive without overgrowth or death, preserving the sample's original mix. Using sterile swabs and avoiding contamination ensure that organisms recovered come from the patient, not from hands, surfaces, or air. When samples arrive in the lab, they are logged, prioritized, and matched to appropriate culture media based on suspected organisms. Quick, correct handling preserves viability and prevents misleading results, which keeps patient care timely and accurate. Inoculation places the sample on or into growth media. The goal is to encourage target bacteria to grow while controlling unwanted organisms. The streak plate method spreads cells to separate individuals so isolated colonies can form from single cells or clumps. Spread and pour plates distribute sample evenly to estimate quantity and recover organisms that are harder to separate by streaking. Selective media favor growth of certain bacteria while inhibiting others. Differential media reveal visible traits like color changes. Incubation requires controlled temperature, time, and atmosphere to match the organism's needs and allow visible colonies to form. Monitoring growth prevents overgrowth or contamination and ensures colonies remain discrete for reliable isolation and analysis. After incubation, distinct colony morphologies appear. Each colony ideally originates from a single organism and represents a pure type. Picking a single colony and streaking it onto fresh media creates a pure culture necessary for accurate identification. Subculturing may be repeated to confirm purity. Pure cultures eliminate mixed signals that would confuse downstream tests. Gram staining and microscopy give rapid, essential clues about cell shape and wall properties, guiding further testing choices. Biochemical tests and antigen or molecular assays identify metabolic traits or genetic markers that define species and strains. Antibiotic susceptibility testing determines which drugs inhibit the isolated bacteria, directly shaping treatment recommendations. Interpreting lab results combines colony appearance, microscopy, biochemical, molecular, and susceptibility data to reach a confident ID. Clinicians use identification and susceptibility results to choose targeted antibiotics, reducing treatment failures and resistance pressure. Timely reporting also triggers infection control actions in hospitals and informs public health surveillance for outbreaks. Accurate isolation protects patients by ensuring correct therapy and supports community health by tracking resistant or emerging strains. To recap, careful sampling, sterile technique, appropriate media, precise isolation, and confirmatory testing are all necessary steps. Precise bacterial isolation may not be glamorous, but it is vital. It turns samples into answers and guides safe, effective patient care.